The 9/11 attacks, as you know, left hundreds of women without their husbands, a lot of husbands without their wives. This morning, we have the story of one widow in Massachusetts, though, who came up with a unique and inspiring response to her tragedy. In the aftermath of September 11th, this was the Afghanistan Americans quickly came to know. Barren mountains, stifling burqas, extreme poverty.
It's so easy to be indifferent when you focus on the differences. It's not so easy when you focus on the similarities.
I just called to say I love you.
On September 11th, Susan Retik's husband, David, left early to catch a flight.
He actually left little notes on the kitchen table to the kids saying how much he loved them and would miss them.
Ben was 4 years old that day. His little sister, Molly, just 2. Susan was 7 months pregnant with their 3rd child.
Dave called from the airport, and because we had missed each other in the morning, and then he said, I gotta go, we're boarding, you know, I love you. And that was the last I, obviously ever heard from him. I went straight to survival mode, and then the whole world came to my rescue. That support truly helped me get through those darkest days.
It's support most Americans can't imagine being without.
We're right on time today, guys.
Yet for Afghanistan's 1 million widows, the care Susan had within hours of losing her husband is almost non-existent. When did you stop and say to yourself, okay, if I can get through this with that help, clearly there are other people who need it too?
I remember thinking, if it was so terrible to be a woman, oh my gosh, what happens when they're widowed? How do they survive? Basically, I remember thinking maybe I could help one woman and her family the way so many people have helped me.
Out of that moment, Beyond the 11th was born. Co-founded with the help of Patty Quigley, also widowed on 9/11, what began as a quest to help one woman has now helped thousands.
I live in the United States.
In just 8 years, Beyond the 11th has raised more than $1 million, passed on as grants to organizations in Afghanistan, helping women learn a skill or a trade, like this soccer ball manufacturing business, started by Afghan women. It now employs some 400 people, many of them widows. The hand-stitched balls can also be made at home and are sold in the U.S. Their true value, though, is the hope they give to the women making them.
Whenever we need help, she's there to help us. And I think she realizes that what work we are doing is making a difference.
And Susan says these women are not our enemy.
Last year, Susan's work was officially recognized with the prestigious Presidential Citizens Medal. Yet even that is no match for the recognition at home.
Well, ever since I was little, I've always looked up to her. I mean, she always is working from home and she's always doing something. I'm so proud of what she does.
What do you think, Ben?
Susan's son, Ben, is now 14. She sees a lot of David in Ben and in her daughters, Molly, now 12, and Dina, who turns 10 in November. Now remarried, she's also mom to 3-year-old Rebecca. Susan knows David would be proud to see his family today.
I know he wouldn't have wanted me to respond with more hate. I don't want Dave's memory to be about hate and anger and terrorism. I want it to be about this phenomenal human being that he was. And I can't think of a better way to carry that on than with the work that we do.
Let me tell you, talk about phenomenal human beings, and Susan Retik is one of them. She's just an incredible woman, and it was an honor to meet her. Here's a look at some of the work that these women are doing, thanks to Beyond the 11th and the grants that they give out. So these are Peace Corps bracelets. I think we also have some rugs, a shot of the rugs in the studio, which are made. Those are both made by Arzu Studio. Arzu means hope in Dari. And what they do is these are traditional Afghan skills. Arzu will pay women 50% more than the market rate for the rugs that they weave. They give them a cash bonus if they commit to attending literacy classes and to sending their kids to school. And these are the soccer balls, Dosti balls, $55. You can buy them in the U.S. And these are their birds of, what are they called? Doves in flight is the pattern. It's in the colors of the Afghan flag. 80% of the world's soccer balls actually made by hand. Most of them in Pakistan, but more now in Afghanistan, and it's just an incredible organization.
A courageous woman, great family, it's a great story.
Yeah,
Thrilling.
the kids are fantastic.
Yeah.